How you doing, everyone? Welcome back to our 20,000 prize pool tonight for the Thursday night game, the Broncos and the Sharks. So very interesting one here. And the way I'm personally going to be playing it is probably going with a bunch of the Sharks outside backs and halves again, with how dominant they've been over the past bunch of weeks. So in the outside backs here, it's very hard to stay away from CC for Talakai with how amazing he went the last 3 of the last 4 weeks. He's got a 78.8 or better, so 110 last week. And can he do that against Stags? Obviously going to be a really, really good battle there. How's Stags going to go against Talakai? Can he come out and dominate like he did the 2 games before, or is he going to have another quiet week as well? So I think selecting at least one of them was probably going to be a good idea for you and your side heading into this week. Ronaldo Mulatalo with 15,250. Obviously getting a lot more expensive at the moment, and he could obviously be a potentially good option after his double last week, and his lowest score of the last 4 weeks was at 49.5. So he's definitely a decent option there. And then you've got guys like Herbie Farnworth. Can he do well on that on that left side? Coming up against Jesse Ramian, is he going to miss a bunch of tackles on Ramian there? There's a few things to think about, but he has 3 out of 6 good games as well. Obviously at that cheaper price point there. I'd probably be staying away from that right side with Katoa and also Ramian. They've obviously been going left lately, and it's doing really well for him, so I don't see them changing that. That right side defense for the Broncos has been okay, so Stags is fairly solid, but they've obviously got Selwyn Cobbo on there, who's obviously a young fella, and they're probably going to try and find him out. So I'd be sticking to that left side, and if you wanted to go obviously a little bit lighter, you have guys like Kennedy, but I'd be staying away. And Tamari Martin with his 42.7, I think was probably a little bit of an outlier last week. They came up against an easier side, and this one's going to be harder for him to do really well. But obviously $10,000, you're not going to miss out too much there. All right, on the half side of things, you've only got 4 guys to think of here. You've got Nicho Hynes and Adam Reynolds, and I think selecting one of them is going to be your best option. How well can the Broncos keep up with the pack is going to be the biggest question there as to how well Nicho Hynes does. Last week he got the 89.4. He has a bunch of really good games with a low game of 47.5. So if you think they can dominate, then I think he's the man to pick. If you think it's going to be a closer game, then Reynolds is going to be your man. He's been super dominant with a low score of 58.3. So Reynolds at 2,940 cheaper, I think is a great shout this week. Even if they get beat up a little bit, I definitely think he's still going to get the kick meters. He's still going to play solidly and probably get a try assist or 2 there. So if they score the tries, that's where it's coming from. And then obviously a little bit cheaper, we've got Corey Pakes, who had a great game last week. I don't think he's going to score the same, so maybe around a 30 odd for him. So 10,500, is that worth it? I'm not exactly sure. And then you got Moylan, who obviously had a nice game last week when they dominated on that left side. So if they're going to continue to go left, then Moylan could be getting some benefit from that. And he has 3 scores now that are very serviceable for that 9,000 price point, and a 35, 41.8 and the 49.7. So Moylan could do a job for you if you needed to go that little bit cheaper with the halves, and also in the flex position there. In terms of our forwards, only a few guys I think are of worthy selection. Payne Haas is dominant each and every week, so another 65 last week and a 60.9 as his floor. So he's obviously great at that 23,000. And then I think you compare him with a couple of cheaper guys. Toby Rudolph's been really solid, scoring a nice 45 last week and has some nice scores above that 40 mark. If we're going to go a bit cheaper, then I think Finucane's going to be great as well. Obviously the 0.8 last time he played when he got injured at the start of the game wasn't ideal, but he's had a low of 39.2 other than that, and at 12,140, I think that's a very serviceable amount of points. If you want to go a little bit lighter, I think Keenan Palacia is probably close to a must-have this week. Really getting big minutes now, and I think with Walters really trusting him for that role, and he's really delivering. He's playing some good footy, so I think him being able to get you around that 40 points or plus in this game, obviously it might be a harder game for him, but it means the forwards have to step up, and Palacia could play off the interchange. It's not really going to matter. I think he's going to be a good option for your team in this one. And obviously Hetherington's a potential option, but at 10,500, he just hasn't been scoring well enough and not getting the minutes that he might need, and Palacia has been. So I think they're the type of options for your side. In this one, I probably personally would be staying away from someone like Reece Kennedy, even though he's 10,200, and had a decent score the last 2 weeks. I just think that you can pick those 2 cheap guys like the Palacia, and also maybe a Finucane or Toby Rudolph, and then play your squad around that. So it's a very interesting one. You might have to play one of the 9,000 guys, and that could be like a Matty Moylan in the flex, or you might have to go for Royce Hunt or something like that to make the team work. But I think these are going to be the best selections to to sort that out. And if you're keen on playing, guys, if you're new to this, jump down into the link below. We've got a link straight to the registration page, so click that. We can keep up with how you're going and welcome you along there. So let me know in the comments if you are new and you're keen on playing this. It's obviously some of the bigger prize pools that we've had in a while for the NRL competition, and I hope you have the best of luck and gamble responsibly, and we'll catch you in the next one. See you later.